Hi guys, welcome to the next instalment of Advanced Music Writing. Today we're going to deal with jigs. Okay, so jigs are written in 6/8 time, or the 2 beats per bar jigs are written in 6/8 time. You'll get 3 beat per bar jigs like waltzes, like 1, 2 and 3 and a 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and a dee da dee and da da. Alright, I think that was the Fox Hunter. Jig, possibly, I'm singing. They would be 9/8, and you also get 12/8 jigs. Alright, 9/8 jigs, 3 beats per bar, 12/8 jigs, 4 beats per bar. But we'll deal with just 6/8 jigs for now. So as always, okay, find some jigs, copy them out. Maybe get 3 or 4. And you're going to rip through jig writing. If you have a strong understanding, of time signatures, notes and note values, and duration and the like, you're going to rip through this very quickly. I found jig writing immensely easy to pick up, okay, and surprisingly quick to master. Very, very easy jig writing, okay. So again, go away, copy out 3 jigs that you know really well, get the music and copy it out onto your own bit of paper and play it in your head as you're going and make it as neat as you can. Once you've done that, then come back. And here is the jig that we are going to play or write today. 6/8 jig. 2, 3, 4. Again. 2, 3, 4. Done. And that was it. That was me playing it. So, let's write it out. So, as always, I'm going to split the bar in half. And our first bar was cha ra digga da, cha ra digga da, cha ra digga da. So that digga da is on its own here. So we've got cha ra to deal with. So let's write out the note heads. Cha ra. And then let's group them up. Cha ra. And it's going to be written in the exact same way that we wrote that movement in the 6/8 march. The exact same way. But if you can't remember, then I'm going to show you how we done it. So think of cha ra or ja ra, ja da, ja da da. Chit-ta-ta, chit-ta-ta. That first and last one are quavers. It's these 3 that we need to change. And it's going to be this. I'll just neaten it up a touch. There. That's what we're going to play, and that's how it's written. And I'll show you why it's written like that. So remember I was saying 1, 2, 3, cha-ta-ta. So if I take that middle one out, again, cha-ra, cha-ra, cha-ra. So it's 3 in here. 1, 2, 3. And they're semi-quavers, but that doesn't add up. So it's going to be a triplet, these 3. And as always, the triplets, you only count 2 of them. So if we're only counting 2 of them, you've got your quaver there. These 2 add up to a quaver because we're not counting the third. And there's the 3 quavers we need to equal our dotted crotchet, which is the value of the beat note in this tune. So there you go. That is why we've got that rough there, why we've got the irregular group there. Cha ra digga digga da. Cha ra digga digga da. So I can get rid of my dotted line now, because I know this 5 digga digga da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and please don't just sit and watch me doing this. Get your pen and paper out and copy it as I'm doing it. Do it with me. Music writing friends. Digga digga da, digga digga da, digga digga da. So remember I was talking to you before about that slight gap at the end? Not a massive gap, but enough to show that that note is slightly different. So there you go. 1 quaver, 2 quavers, 3 quavers. I know I'm pointing at 2, but I'm adding them 2 up. Make 1 quaver, 2 quaver, 3 quavers. That gives me the value of the beat note. Now, we accented that, and we're ready to move on to the next bar, okay? We went it's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's write out the 1, 2, 3. So it was tap, drag, right, and then it was flam, right, left. And when you're getting groups of 3, okay, in jigs, it's very easy. Alright, you don't even need that line necessarily, okay? It's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's just figuring out what is on, what each hand is being played and what you're playing on each hand. So we're doing a drag there, whoop, and we're doing a flam there. Now we've got that's what we've got so far. You should be picking this up surprisingly easy because it's easier than you think. And then the last row, this is a wee bit trickier, okay? Think back to the groups we had here, okay? I'll put them back in for you. We had either just beats, so you could be playing just da, da, or zzz, flam, flam, okay? You could have da, 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 da. That's another division of the beat there. Crotchet quavers. Da, 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 da. And I'll give you the split of each beat there. Another one you could have had was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Da, 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 da. Which is the exact same as we done there. Da, 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 da. I'm just doing these on any hand because I'm not actually playing anything here, I'm just writing it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you could do the quaver crotchet and be ba-da, ba-da, instead of da, 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 da. You could be ba-da, ba-da. Okay. Generally, in the 6/8 march, you would have dot and cut them, ba, 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 ba. In the 6/8 jig, you don't. It's more 1 day, 2 day. Okay. So let's move on to the next bar. And we're going tiz that tiz 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 that 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 tiz that. So 2 4-stroke rolls, tiz that tiz that. The second 4-stroke roll finishes on the next half of the beat. So it's tiz that tiz that. So it'll be the first one on the right. Tiz that. There's the second one. So we know the second one starts on the second half of that beat. And if I say that, does that, does that, da, 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 it's the exact same rhythm. So the notes are going to be the exact same, okay? And it's roll marks here, 4-stroke, 4-stroke. And now I can get rid of my lines, does that, does that. This next row, does that, does that, does that, does that, does that. Do that, do that. It's that rhythm there, isn't it? That exact rhythm, but. So I'm going to write that. It's going to be left, right. So crotchet, quaver, roll mark, 3 roll marks or lines through the note if it's a crotchet or above. 2 if it's a quaver below. So I've got does that, does that. That's correct. And then the last bit is does that, does that, does that. I'm rolling over that beat, okay? Remember what we done with the 6/8 march when we rolled over the beat? We showed the position of that beat, alright, by writing a note. And it was a buzzed note, alright, so it wasn't an accented note. If it was an accented note, it would need to be an accented roll. but it wasn't, it was a buzz note. So it'll be does that, does that. So I could do that to show the position. Does that, does, and that'll be a buzz note. And then the roll finished on the left, and then it was 4-stroke roll on the right. And these notes, there's 3 of them, so it can only be quavers. Okay? And I'm rolling through. That's the roll, or the note that I'm stopping the roll on, is that left. And then there's my 4-stroke roll. And then you would show in the way of using accents which one is of those you're hitting out. You don't have to put an accent here. I'm going to, but you don't have to, because that's the end of the roll. It's going to be a tap. Does that, does that, does that, does that, does that. So I'm tapping that one out, but I'm not going to play it as an accent or speak it. Does that, does that, does that, does that, does that, does that. You see how I've done that? And that last note on its own would be a crotchet, or a dotted crotchet even. So we've now got and I'll do it again. And when I get to this bit, I'll tap that out. And that's it, okay? I'd imagine you probably picked this one up fairly quickly, okay? Just like with the march, alright, if you wanted to play through that, alright, you could end up taking that one, and I'm not going to do it just now, I'll do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very scruffy just now. If you wanted to play right through instead of digga digga da, you wanted to go digga 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 da. Split that one in half. That would be, if I'd done that, it would be digga 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 da. It would be right through as opposed to stopping. If I didn't want to do 5, you could do paradiddle tap. Paradiddle tap. It would be the exact same. The only difference is I'm changing the hands. So instead of chip, digga digga da, chip, paradiddle tap. See what I mean? And again, having a solid understanding of notes and note values makes this surprisingly easy. Alright? Surprisingly easy. And please don't think I sound patronising when I say that. It's surprisingly easy. I've just started, you'll stop saying that. Alright, you'll pick it up quicker than you think. Okay, and again, go back to writing, copying the music, and once you copy not just this, but when you start copying loads of different jigs, when I say do 3, you might catch a bug and want to do, I don't mean like a city bug, but like a music writing bug, and you'll want to write loads more. If you do, then great. The more you write and the more you copy, the easier this will be. Okay, and all that we covered here will make far more sense to you. Okay, so as always, get in touch if you've got any questions, and that was how a good lesson on jig music writing. 6/8 jig. 2, 3, 4. Again. 2, 3, 4.